All right, so negative 8 comma 9 is the domain. What would the range be then? All right, the range is your low comma high. Low comma high. What's the lowest point on this graph? It's right here, negative 6. And then the highest, what I was trying to do before, is 8. Okay, and that's it, you're done. All right, number 3. Now this one's a little different because what do we have in this graph? We have some arrows. Arrows change it a little bit. All right. So what do you think the domain is? Write down what you think the domain is. All right. So a lot of people, students tell me it's like a half to what's that? Almost 6. But what are those, if you can see? Those are arrows. Okay. An arrow means it's going left forever. What's left forever mean? It means negative infinity, comma, farthest right is also an arrow. It's going to go to the right forever. It looks like it's going up, but it's also going to the right, infinity. Now, when you have infinities, you need to put parentheses. You can't equal infinity. A bracket means equal. And then there's another way of writing this. Negative infinity to infinity, you can write this symbol. It means all real numbers. Okay? All real numbers. Okay? Because I'm super lazy, I don't want to write all that. Okay? All right, so now what's the range? What do you think? What's the lowest point on this graph? Well, that's easy right there. And it even has a dot on it. It's 1, 2, 3, negative 4. And then it's going, what's the highest point? The arrows are the highest point. It's going up forever. It's never going to stop. Infinity. That's it. All right, next one. All right, so now we have a line. Pause the video. What do you think? Domain. Farthest to the left. It's an arrow. Now remember, this is positive x, negative x. These are x values. The x's in quadrant 3 are negative. That's why it's negative. Okay? And then farthest to the right, positive. The x's are getting positive. You're going right, not up and down. Again, you can write that as all round numbers. How about the range? Same thing. What's the lowest point? An arrow. Highest point? An arrow. All real numbers. Done. Okay? All right, next one. It's really beautiful because I made it myself and took a picture of it. All right, pause the video. What do you think? Domain. Farthest left, an arrow. Farthest right, an arrow. All real numbers. Range, on the other hand, is a little easier. Is a little harder. What's the lowest point? Does this count as the lowest point? No. It's a point, it's an extrema. It's coming down, but then it goes back up. What's the very lowest point? It's the very lowest point you see. It's down here. Okay, so it's negative 8, comma. What's the highest point? Either one of those arrows works. Infinity. Okay. All right, number 6. Last one. All right, domain. Farthest left, farthest right. All real numbers. Range. Lowest point, highest point. Again, ignore the stuff in the middle. Yes, this is a low point, but it's not the lowest. We're talking lowest, highest. All real numbers. Now, this is a polynomial. What do you know about the exponent? It's odd. If you have an x to an odd number, it's always super easy. All real numbers, all real numbers. How about this one, the one we just did? This is x to an even number. An even number, the domain's all real numbers, but an even number, it comes down and stops and then goes back up. Because remember, the arrows go in the same direction. So this one's a little more complicated for the range. Okay? But that's it. Now just practice.